This is ANN News Brief.
Good morning. I'm Lucy Adeyemi. The United Nations Human Rights Agency has called on Sudanese military leaders to investigate the violence in which 60 protesters have been killed. Sudan has been ruled by a transitional military council since April, when the army ousted the country's longtime president Omar al-Bashir. Violence erupted on Tuesday when soldiers opened fire on protesters who had staged a sit-in demonstration near the military headquarters in the nation's capital, Khartoum. The opposition has rejected a plan by military authorities to hold elections within 9 months. The military council responded on Tuesday. It was cancelling all agreements with the main opposition coalition. Protest organizers say an open-ended civil disobedience campaign will continue to force the military council from power. Incoming British resident High Commissioner to Lesotho, Anne Marker, has vowed to ensure that Britain's exit from the European Union will not disrupt trade with the nation and other southern African countries. Marker, the first resident British High Commissioner in Lesotho in more than a decade, said she will prioritize collaboration with the government and the private sector to identify and reduce barriers to trade, promote investment and stimulate economic growth. She said this in a recent interview with the Lesotho Times shortly after presenting her credentials to His Majesty King Letsie III in Maseru. The presentation ceremony marked the formal reopening of the British High Commission almost 12 years after it was closed in 2005. Up until now, Britain had been represented by a Pretoria-based High Commissioner who was also responsible for South Africa and Swaziland. Swaziland is set to get its own resident High Commissioner as well. She described the reopening of the resident High Commission as a great opportunity to renew the United Kingdom's historic relationship with Lesotho, a valued Commonwealth partner and friend. Stay with us, we'll be back after this message.
There is a new all-news network on the scene in Nigeria to give news from a purely news perspective and to promote free information flow across Africa. Fresh views, unbiased, bold, with a purely African view. African News Network, ANN, in a truly African spirit.
Seychelles Ministry of Family Affairs has launched the Orange campaign in all primary schools. This is the latest effort to raise awareness about gender-based violence in the hopes of eliminating it from the island nation. Principal Secretary for Family Affairs Mary Joseph said there have been school fights and arguments that sometimes break out among students, and there were instances of bullying in many schools. She also said in many cases children witness violence at home. Bone added that in recent years, Seychelles has seen an unprecedented rise in levels of violence, not only against women and girls, but among youth in general. The Principal Secretary said if gender-based violence is to end, there is an urgent need to bring about a change of mind, hearts, and behavior of children. Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development says it has welcomed the campaign. Schools will be encouraged to organize activities promoting peace to raise awareness around violence in general, especially on the 25th of each month that has been designated as Orange Day by the United Nations, when people are encouraged to wear orange in solidarity with survivors of violence and to unite to take a stand towards ending gender-based violence. That's CNN News Brief. For details on these and other stories, visit our social media platforms and join the conversation on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at CNN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.